Do you wish you knew exactly how to write a sales post to attract soulmate clients using the most powerful gifts from your astrology chart? Well, guess what? Now you can learn how for free. I'm going to share my cosmic copywriting secrets that have helped people to instantly turn strangers on the internet into buyers for their high-ticket offers. In my 5-part training series, Cosmic Attraction Copywriting, you'll learn the mindset switch that takes my clients from feeling confused about their content or not feeling fully safe to share their story online to making sales more easily and naturally than ever before, with the astrological placement that unlocks a new level of depth in your storytelling that builds trust 10 times faster with the clients who are genuinely a very aligned fit to work with you. Plus, the messaging tweaks that take my clients from attracting people who can't afford it to easy sales into 5-figure offers with no sales calls. And you'll get clarity on the 3 things your soulmate clients need to hear from you consistently in your message to feel confident and excited to buy your offer. You'll also get my writing process prompts to share your story in a powerful way that stands out to the right people and leads to ready to buy clients popping up into your DMs asking to work with you. Click the link in the description for instant access to Cosmic Attraction Copywriting. This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a 6-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I am here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, it's Sarah Mack here. Welcome back to the Creative Magic Club podcast. This is part 2 in my 3-part high-ticket marketing series. I'm going to talk about how I built a high-ticket client attraction system using my astrology chart and how that helped me unlock confidence in who I am, authenticity, alignment, feel good, and so much more ease and less resistance in how I show up to sell and to sign clients into my high-ticket offers with so much more ease and authenticity that just feels like, oh, I'm not questioning myself anymore. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know what I'm here to stand for. And, obviously I still have identity crises and creative and brand spirals every now and again, but it definitely happens a whole lot less. So if you didn't already check out part 1, where I shared my 5-figure offer high ticket sales script for coaches and creative entrepreneurs, definitely go back and check that one out. It was short, but it's going to make you so much fucking money when you implement that. So this series is gold. I hope you're loving it. Send me a message on Instagram at SarahMacMagic and let me know how it's landing. I discovered astrology, I'd been kind of by osmosis really consuming a lot of astrology and I hadn't even really noticed. But I seriously started pursuing it and studying it and integrating it into my business in 2020. And my intuition really led me to understand specific aspects of my astrology chart that revolutionized how I attract clients in my business. That has become a really major way that I guide clients to find how it clicks in your brand and business, where you feel clear, you know what you're showing up to talk about when you show up to create content. And obviously, I have frameworks that I've developed over many, many years with my background in copywriting and digital marketing and online sales. So the way I marry these 2 tools together, these skill sets together, has just become so powerful. So I want to share my story around which parts of my chart really helped me to, spark some insight around particular areas of your chart that you can go and look at to get more insight and clarity on your brand storytelling and how you show up and make sales and attract clients that, really are your soulmate clients and who are going to get the most from your work. So the first placement that really gave me a lot of confidence was Saturn. So my Saturn is in the third house in Scorpio. So I would say definitely look at your third house, definitely look at your 11th house when it comes to brand and storytelling, because these are the placements that are more related to social media. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a placement there, look at the sign that falls on these charts. So with Saturn in my third house in Scorpio, this really gave me the confirmation and the permission to follow my intuition to talk about taboos, right? Scorpio is that like underworld transformational energy. And at the time, I was starting to talk about how, dealing with childhood sexual trauma had massively transformed my relationship with my self-worth and transformed my income and my ability to make money and sales in my business. Obviously I was like shit scared of talking about this, and seeing my Saturn placement here just gave me that confirmation that like there's a reason you have a burning desire to talk about it. And I knew it was important to talk about it, because how do we create empowerment is we break taboos, right? It's literally the only way to do it is to start to shed light in the darkness that holds power over us. Very Scorpio themes. So I'll talk a little bit more about how these placements kind of unfolded for me. But I pretty much just started talking about it on social, like baby stepping the things I really wanted to say. And then eventually I published a whole freaking book about it. How cool is that? That it really empowered me and my voice and my story, understanding this, my Saturn placement. The next placement that I was really drawn to was Chiron. So mine is in Gemini in the 10th house. And this really taught me the power of vulnerable stories. And Gemini is, it's the messenger, it's the storyteller. And I never really saw myself as a storyteller, which is crazy considering, I have a background in the arts. I came from film, even though I was doing a lot more like production and behind the camera stuff. I grew up as a dancer, and then I went and studied theatre, and I wrote for theatre when I was in university. But I had really low self-worth, and I just never felt like I was good enough. And this is Chiron. That is the wound of Chiron, right? It's like never feeling seen, never feeling fully acknowledged. And when I understood that this was my wound, that this was just a pattern that I am here to heal, it really gave me more confidence in using my voice. And, I ended up starting this podcast, among so many other things, ways that I use my voice in my work and my brand. My next placement is Venus, and mine is in Cancer in the 10th house. And this really taught me that my instincts were spot on in wanting to have really fucking great boundaries with my business, which I did from the get-go, having, launched into a career as an entrepreneur because I completely burnt out from my previous career. I was like, I'm not letting that happen again. And then I started to get that reflection back from clients where they're like, I just feel like, you really care about us. And realizing that this was my superpower. When I lead from care, when I serve the people that I genuinely care the most about, around the topics that I really care about and believe can make the biggest impact, that is the key for money for me. Obviously, being in the 10th house, these conversations are centered around business and career and legacy and brand. And then the next one that really was like a big fat permission slip for me was my Gemini midheaven. And I've really always identified with that Gemini energy of wanting to be doing multiple things at once and never feeling like, I just can clearly commit to one thing. I gave myself permission to have 2 Instagram accounts, which is something that I just didn't allow myself to do for the longest time. Not that I needed to have 2, it was more of a necessity than like a desire, because I got banned from ads on my second account after losing my first account. But, when the idea presented itself, initially I would have been like, that's way too much. No, I can't. Like, 2 accounts, are you fucking crazy? But, and this is just one really small example about ways I've given myself permission to do more than one thing in my career. But I think about this all the time of like, I'm always going to feel like there's one foot over here and one foot over here, and that's okay. including both money mindset and content strategy and copywriting as my core brand pillars, after really torturing myself for a long time over trying to focus on one thing and having so many business ideas all the time and feeling like I had to hold back. Now I know, especially with my Chiron in Gemini and my Chiron also being in the 10th house, knowing that I'm here to tell stories. I'm here to help people tell stories. I'm here to amplify voices, starting with my own. And that Gemini energy, which I really connect to my manifesting generator, human design, that's going to take multiple expressions, and that's okay. Like, that really excites me, and to stop giving power to that other person's voice in my head that's like, this is too much. You can't do this and this and this and this. And obviously that it's always a fine balancing act, because you genuinely can't, see multiple ideas to fruition at the same time. But knowing there's time for everything, and knowing to go all in on the thing that is my priority now, but not writing off my other ideas and getting into that relationship with my creativity of, okay, this isn't a no, it's just a not yet. And knowing that I can nurture and I can keep that idea on the back burner. And when it's time for that, I will create space in my priorities. So here's how these placements have really helped me to develop clarity and confidence and impact and more ease and authenticity in the way that I make money in my business and my brand. So it has really given me permission to be all of me in my business and content. That's my favorite thing about understanding my astrology chart, is it's all there. I see all of the parts of me represented. So when I get into that headspace of, should I do this or that, or should I be this or that, I get to be all of it. And Saturn gave me permission to really go there in my storytelling, which was, really empowering for me, for my voice. And it led to the most incredible and powerful connections with clients and with new clients and with new audience members, which has led to the easiest sales ever, because they know I'm the perfect person to help them navigate what they are going through, because they resonate with a part of my story that I have shared. And Chiron really obliterated my imposter syndrome and my insecurity, which is just a big fat fucking waste of energy, realizing that we are all the wounded healer in one area, and understanding that my challenges were the thing that made me and my work so valuable to my clients, helping others to overcome all of those internal battles that come up when we start to grow our visibility and our audience, and we start to ask for more money, and we start to take more of a stand for our work in the world. This is a part of the journey, and having been through it and walked the path and, still walking the path every single freaking day, dealing with this Chiron and Gemini, and no longer making my ongoing challenges with visibility and making money in the way that I deeply desire to, mean that I'm not good enough to lead, but that this is exactly what I'm meant to be leading from. This becomes the strategy to lead from my life's ongoing wisdom, not from trying to be perfect all the time. And then Venus has really helped me to unlock more money and freedom and feel good for me in my business, because I know that this is literally my money printing strategy. When I do what feels good to me and what I genuinely care about, this is the strategy that will work. When I try to twist myself into a pretzel and follow somebody else's formula, it's not going to work for me. So I might as well quit while I'm behind. And, one thing in a decade of online sales and helping people to make money doing their passion work that I know to be true more than anything else is that conviction and passion will make you more sales than any perfected strategy. So look to your Venus for a big fat permission slip to do the thing you deeply desire that will make you the most money. And my Gemini midheaven really inspired me to create the vehicles that I wanted to build long term, to continue to grow my impact by attracting new clients. So for me, even though I love connecting with people and creating for social media, I really wanted evergreen content that was going to be working for me beyond the ever-changing algorithm. So that's really what sparked me to start my podcast in 2020. And I've now grown it to, by the time this airs, it will have surpassed 20,000 downloads. And it's become a really powerful place for new people to get to know me and my work and to decide to work with me after binging all of my episodes and then showing up in my inbox ready to spend thousands of dollars on my offers because it's really freaking clear to them the value that I bring when they hire me. And before we've even had a single conversation. And that is just so, so powerful. It's definitely been slow growth, and this is the other aspect of my chart, which is a really powerful teacher for me, which is my Taurus North Node. It's teaching me to be slow and steady and stable and consistent. And this is what I'm here to do in this lifetime. It's what I'm here to learn. And this will become more and more of my expertise that I'm then going to be able to support my clients and community with. It's working. I started getting 20 downloads from my episodes back in 2020. And now in the last year, my podcast episodes have doubled from the previous year. So that growth, even though it was so freaking slow in the beginning, I'm 5 years in now. Oh, I think it's my podcast anniversary. I need to put that in my calendar and just do something to celebrate. But the doubling is happening way faster now, and it's compounding. It's compounding, and there's nothing sexier than compound returns on your efforts. So also make sure you check out episode 247 if you haven't already, which is my chill anti-hustle podcast pitching strategy that led to 20 guest speaking opportunities in 3 months. And then episode 248, I also talk about the transits, which are really helpful for audience growth. That's another really good one. So anyway, I started my podcast. Then I wrote and self-published my book, The Six-Figure Creative, which is now a really powerful top of funnel offer for people who are new to my work that introduces them to my story, how I help people. And again, it's an evergreen piece of content. It took me 2.5 years, but now it's one of the easiest sales that I make in my business. When I meet new people, they're like, oh my God, you have a book. I want to learn more. And they buy it, and it's only $25. And they get all of my wisdom from many, many, many years that they can have instant access to without even having to have a conversation with me or join any of my programs. And I created it once, and it continues to make more money and create clients for me. So to think that I never even really considered myself a storyteller and had so many insecurities around my creative identity and my relationship with money, and was just not giving myself permission to really follow my heart and to believe that I was capable of making money in super fun ways, doing work that I deeply care about. And just look at me now. A published author, a podcaster, a creative brand strategist, teaching others to share their story and make more money. Collectively, we've made over 7 figures doing work that we love, that is having a huge positive impact on people that we care about having a positive impact on. How freaking cool is that? So whenever you have a wobble, whenever you have a moment of doubt, come back to your astrology chart. It is a mirror to your own multifaceted strengths and genius and challenges. And I just think it's so powerful to really support us in those intuitive nudges that we're getting, and really giving us the faith and the certainty to make moves, and knowing that, it might not pay off immediately, but if this is in our blueprint, it must be worth giving it a shot in this lifetime, for seeing where it's going to take us and what different expressions of these placements we will evolve into throughout our lifetime. Because all of these seeds were there already. My astrology chart really just gave me the confidence to stand in who I am and build a business and client ecosystem that feels really aligned. And I just don't waste half as much time or energy questioning or doubting or backpedaling or waiting to follow through on my ideas, which, is always going to make me the most money, is when I follow through. And confidence is often the only thing standing between us and a powerful decision that can change our business and life and change the lives of so many other people. So, if you are curious about exploring your Venus, Chiron, and your midheaven signs using my prompts that are going to bring out these angles to help you really integrate that into your brand and into your storytelling so that you can stand more confidently in who you are, so that you can raise your prices and translate your gifts and strengths into a $5,000 to $10,000 or more high ticket offer, get your hands on my mini course, How to Raise Your Prices Using Astrology to Sell a High Ticket Offer. The link is in the description and it is at special pricing for a limited time. And if you know you want more in-depth and tailored support, integrating your unique astrology chart into a cohesive 6-figure brand and business so that it's easier than ever to sign clients into your high ticket offer, I invite you to join the Cosmic Copy Mastermind, which is the place to get my support to finally find the words that capture your magic so you can confidently raise your prices and attract dream clients into your 5 to 10K plus offer. Stay tuned for next week for the final part in this 3-part high ticket marketing series, where I'm going to be talking about how to find high ticket clients with my top 3 astrology branding planets that are going to help you more authentically represent yourself in the ways that you are showing up and marketing your work. So I hope that you have loved this. Please send this to anyone you know who would benefit. If you haven't already left a review, I will love you forever if you go to iTunes and leave a review to support the show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sending you so much love and we'll see you next week. Bye.